The amount of calories that's in one Cinnabon, that is a sin. Okay? Because now why, Lord? Not 3,500 calories, because what? Not my whole day. Not the Cinnabon being my meal. That's wild. Welcome to Storytime with Sirece.
Preview.
And now, let's all welcome your host, Sirece Thomas. Hey guys, welcome in. Come on in, y'all. Get comfortable, take a seat. I won't be before you long. Welcome. I am so excited that you guys are back. It is Saturday, which means it is another story time with Sirece. And I'm excited. I'm actually back with a message for you, and it actually starts with S. Saturday story time with Sirece. Let's talk about surrendering. I hope you guys are doing great. Don't forget to click that button, like, share, and subscribe so that we can do life together here on this channel. You will find motivational, inspirational messages, Christian-based, and I talk a lot about my weight loss journey as well, which is coming up in a few messages. But here, I just want to talk about the word surrendering. It's just been on my spirit. What's with these S? Saturday, surrender spirit. It's just been on my heart. So praying that this message reaches exactly who it needs to reach, to encourage you to surrender to the Most High God. Our God, Jesus, everything that he's given us on earth is like, he has given us the treasure map. You know what I'm saying? It's just that so many of us don't realize that we are really not surrendering. Now listen here, when I speak these messages, I speak from experience, okay? I literally love to come before you guys as transparently as I can. And when I think about the word surrendering, I think about three things. You've got to know what you're surrendering to. You've got to trust it. And then you have to commit. Know, trust, commit. Okay? When we think about God, some of us know him, but we don't trust him completely. And we may not say that, but in our actions, we show that we are just not trusting. Some of us trust him, but we're not truly committing to surrendering to him. Because when we say we surrender to God's will, that's actually a process. There's levels to surrendering to God. When you say you surrender to something, that means to let go of your own idea, your own way, your own will, your own desire. So you have to really be able to understand that when I say, okay, God, I surrender to you, that means I've got to begin to change. Surrendering is a call to action. Okay, we cannot just say that we surrender to God. And this is why I wanted to bring this message to you, because some of us are just walking with God and not experiencing the fullness of the benefits to know God, simply to just receive his love. Some people try to figure out why I'm always happy. Listen, I may not always be in the best situation, or I may not always have the best circumstance around me, but I've always got that joy. And that joy is simply a fruit of knowing Jesus, trusting him, and committing to surrendering to him. Now, I've got a ways to go, okay, with things that I have to continue to submit before him and say, God, I got to let this go. And in order to let this go, I have to commit to the call to action, which is to change my thinking towards the situation. Maybe I got to forgive some people. Maybe I thought I forgave some situations and I really didn't. I just heard a pastor say the other day, when you get triggered by something, many times that's because it's just still there. It's still there. You know, you haven't truly let it go. You haven't really explored what it really means to surrender, to let it go, to allow yourself to commit to the call to action to change. Some of us know what we're surrendering to, and we know that outcome isn't good, but we do it day after day. Some of our habits we're surrendered to, and we have not committed to take the time to change that habit around. And many times, in order to do that, you have to first surrender to God. Like, listen, all right, as I talk about my weight loss, and one of my favorite foods and desserts out there is a Cinnabon. Y'all know Cinnabon. I pray they don't go out of business. I don't know if I'm praying for the right thing. Maybe I need to talk to God about that. But Cinnabon is a childhood favorite dessert food of mine. It is still around. There's not many of them. But man, when I find that thing in the mall. Okay, I'm getting off track. The whole point is, I know Cinnabon, okay? And I trust it to be delicious, okay? And I will commit to Googling the nearest one to me, especially if I'm out of town. I'm like, oh, I get a little treat. where is Cinnabon, right? And this is because I know, trust, and I will commit to what it takes to get to that Cinnabon, but it's still a process. Now, also, I have to realize this is something that I cannot do often. It's okay to have a Cinnabon, but I always say I like to have a quarterly Cinnabon or twice a year, because like the amount of calories that's in one Cinnabon, that is a sin. Okay? Because now why, Lord? Not 3,500 calories, because what? Not my whole day. Not the Cinnabon being my meal. That's wild. Anyways, the whole point is some of us are surrendering to relationships, things, habits every single day. And we're doing it with ease. And it takes such a struggle for us to surrender to God, the one that we know to be faithful, the one that knows our best interest. He doesn't just want our best interest. He actually knows it. So when he asks you to do something that feels uncomfortable or feels like it's out of your realm of things you would do because this is how I am and I could never, God is calling you to a process of surrenderance, which is a call to action to change. He wants you to know him and he wants you to trust him. And in order to trust him, you have to be able to know him first. You have to know that he is good, period. You cannot base God off of your circumstance. You cannot judge him based off of the things that have happened to you in life, because until you know him, you begin to understand that he has never left you, that he's always been there, and he's been knocking on your door, and he's been asking you to truly surrender. And right now I'm about to surrender to my 4-year-old as she interrupts me. Watch this grace and patience. Watch this grace and patience. Hi, Persia. What happened? It's bedtime? I'm going to open my door. 2 minutes, okay? 2 minutes. 2 minutes, baby. Grace and patience. Grace and... Listen, if you're a mother, an auntie, a godmother, a grandmother, whatever it is, if you have children in your life, you already know that sometimes you don't have the choice but to surrender to a situation, right? But I also realize that there are things and blessings that God has given me that in order to surrender to them, I have to surrender to him, because then I won't operate in those blessings correctly and they will wind up being a burden more than a blessing. But that's a whole nother message, right? I just wanted to come before you guys today and encourage you. If things are just feeling like, man, why do I feel like I'm not getting the best out of my relationship with God? I mean, God has given you He has given you the access. He's given you the keys to the kingdom. And some of us are just not opening the doors. Some of us are waiting for them doors to just open by themselves. But he's like, I gave you the keys. And you're like, I don't know. It's because you're struggling with truly trusting him. And because you're struggling, you may not know him the way you think. And how do we get to know God? How do we get to know anyone? We have to spend quality time. And when I say quality over quantity, because sometimes we're doing so much, we're in church, we're at the Bible study, we're at the event, we're reading our word, but we're not retaining anything. We are not actually worshiping with our spirits and our minds. We're not connecting with it. We're just doing it. It becomes on autopilot. So in order to know him, spend that quality time. Take a moment to breathe and really talk to him. Ask him to open your eyes when you are in your word and reveal to you what he's saying to you, because God is always speaking. He doesn't just ask you to surrender to him. He gives you the help you need and the tools you need to do so, because he knows in this day and age, in this world, it is not easy to surrender to the God Most High, the God who many times he calls us to do the very opposite thing that society and culture is telling us to do. The very opposite thing that our people and this and that. Some of us are surrendering to things because we just gave up. Oh, well, I've been in it for so long. It's probably not going to change. And we just kind of give up. No, God gives us what we need to change those habits around, to change those thinking, to remove yourself from certain relationships, to get out of temptation. Okay, so I encourage you, surrendering. That is literally the first step to a truly successful life in Christ. You are experiencing a lack of joy, a lack of peace. You're starting to feel, you're looking over your shoulder, you're feeling that anxiety. You're trying to understand, why am I sad? Why am I not seeing progress? Because you haven't fully surrendered your will to him. You haven't committed to the process to change that it takes to surrender to him. Surrendering doesn't happen overnight. You have to be able to change your mind, but it does take a commitment to say, God, I surrender. Show me what's next. How do I truly surrender to you? So I hope you're encouraged. I know this message was for someone. I thank God for using me. I thank God for being here and just blessing me and my life to be able to be a blessing, because the things that I struggle with and the things that I go through, he literally has called me right here to this platform to share with you so that you can go into this night or this morning or this day or whenever you're watching or listening to this word, knowing that God is calling you deeper. He's asking you to truly know him. He wants you to trust him so that you can surrender and be a part of that call to action to truly change so he can transform your life. He will turn it around in the midnight hour, but sometimes he's just waiting on you. He will open the door, but sometimes he's waiting for you to take the keys and do it. He's given you the tools. He's given us the treasure map. We know exactly where it is. Now the road is tough. The road can be hard. Letting go of some things that you've been holding on, some relationships you've been holding on to. It is hard when he says, let go. It is, okay? And you know, I always talk about that teddy bear picture when the girl is holding her raggedy little teddy bear so tightly and she's like, God, I can't let this go. And he's like, just give it to me. And behind his back is a big brand new teddy bear that he wants to give to her if she would just let go, if she or he would just surrender. So I hope someone was blessed by this message. I love you guys. We'll be back every Saturday with a new story time with Sirece. Again, come here for your information. You just need a quick pick me up. You're looking for a word from God. This is the place to be. You're looking for a place to laugh. You're looking for some motivation for some weight loss. I got you. For girls, guys, everyone. I love you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys back here next Saturday with another story time with Sirece. See you soon. Don't forget, surrender.